Morning, guys. Louis at Defending Elvis. I'm not awake yet. I'm like, "Buh." Still half asleep. So, what a day yesterday. I would say, quite a draining day. Um, so I wake up to a barrage of messages, situation, poor Lisa Marie, that involves Priscilla, her mother. How many times have we been in a situation where we're trying to defend Elvis and his bloodline from from family members, including an ex-wife? I always say it to you guys: the people closest to Elvis, even if they're related to him, hurt him the most. Tried to expose him, still expose him using lies and twisting the truth to this very day. So when I get all of this information, the press have caught hold of it. Poor Lisa Marie may have had her machine unplugged because Priscilla wanted power, wanted to be the Queen of Graceland. And pretty shocking, pretty shocking. I knew that yesterday was going to be completely consumed by what's been said. Yeah. I just braced myself for a very long day. I reckon it's going to take about 20 hours of shows to really go through all of this in different details, plus the reaction to this. Bit by bit, we're getting the reaction from around the world, from TV news outlets, but also obviously local news outlets, Memphis news outlets. It's everywhere. Everyone's talking about it. There isn't that many things, actual TV footage. I think Entertainment Today, is it? And ET, they've released. They're the only real proper, I would say, credible outlet that has released this. There's a couple of others. I'm going to search around, try and find what I can find. We didn't know Bridget Cruz was going to join us. Obviously, we're discussing Bridget Cruz's words that she has put into her lawsuit. So that doesn't make it fact. It doesn't make it evidence. She's going to have to substantiate the things she is saying. Very serious things. That Priscilla purposely did not allow Lisa Marie to be resuscitated, even though in 2010 Lisa Marie had signed something to say, prolong my life if possible. Yeah. Resuscitate me if anything goes wrong. Yeah. So the things that Bridget Cruz is saying are very serious, very serious. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't expecting Bridget to join us on this topic. I just didn't see it coming. So there was a bit of a surprise at first, but just so much unfolded yesterday. So what I recommend you guys do is, there's 7 shows yesterday. I think 2 are on the video side of my channel and the rest are on the live stream. I did feel it was important to go live. This is too serious. Yesterday was probably the most important day of defending Elvis. Right, my kids are here, guys. Yes, yesterday was probably the most important day since we've started this channel, defending Elvis. Yesterday epitomizes exactly why we're here. Yeah. And that is to defend Elvis and his bloodline against unfair treatment. I don't think it gets any more unfair than this, but we must accept it may not be true. Bridget Cruz has a lawsuit. It's all about the money. Lawsuits are about money, guys. Broken contracts. You could say broken promises. We know that Bridget Cruz and Priscilla were very, very close, making a lot of money for a long time. I really do think Bridget really loved and admired Priscilla, but it's obvious she doesn't now. Obvious now she massively wants to discredit her and embarrass her, expose her, and she wants the money that she feels she's owed, because Priscilla signed all these contracts. I have read through the lawsuit. It's very detailed, 62 pages. It took me quite a while to go through it. There were sections that were just so boring I skipped through, but generally I read all of it. Yeah. So I'm not going to go through that on this morning's show. I will mention a few things about it in another show. But the bottom line is, it feels that Priscilla just changed her mind about all these contracts. Priscilla's trying to claim elder abuse. She didn't know what she was signing. She was tricked and conned. Who knows, guys? But Priscilla seems very well to me. Now, this whole show is for entertainment purposes, just opinions, sharing. It's not fact. It's just a discussion YouTube channel. So, what I'm saying is just us sharing opinions. Yeah, I know. You go sit with Yasmin if you want. So, or just sit there and look. So my son's here. Just plug it in over there. Good boy, Tino. Thank you. So, now it's awkward for me because I get on fine with Bridget. She's very polite to me. I know she's going through hell. I know this is very upsetting for her. She's a family woman, of course, a businesswoman. But I can't ignore that what went on with Priscilla and Bridget leading up to Lisa's death and after the negotiating that was happening with Riley concerning all of this. So I can't take sides. I can't be on Bridget's side because she unfortunately was involved in many of the things, the big decisions that were being made that affects Lisa Marie Riley, Finley Harper. She was on the inside. She was on the inside. She knew a lot of what was happening. Yeah. So I'm not here to badmouth Bridget, but I'm not going to rub out what went on before they fell out. Because don't forget, they fell out. Yeah. They had these contracts. We've all seen the video footage of them signing the contracts. Priscilla changed her mind, allegedly. Yeah. So this is about money, guys. But there is wrongdoing here on Bridget's part as well. Yeah. I'd like, so Bridget, if you do join my show, I'd like you just to admit the things that you took part in that I think were unfair to Lisa, that didn't have Lisa's best interest at heart, that the best interest of Priscilla were paramount, prominent. You get what I mean? What's good for Priscilla? That is the bit where Elvis fans around the world will not be happy with you, Bridget Cruz. I don't think the fans trust you anymore. Yeah. So I think in some sort of weird way, you have to apologize to the fans for your involvement in things that were not good for Lisa, were not good for Riley, Finley and Harper. And then go from there. Go from there. That's my advice to Bridget. It's probably not too late for Bridget to try and put things right by some kind of public apology and breaking down your mistakes. You're just a businesswoman, but unfortunately you've got in there with someone who could be very despicable, Priscilla, who's I think capable of some pretty cruel, nasty behaviour, very selfish behaviour. And the reason I think that is because she's done so many things that have been very damaging to Elvis. Very damaging. There's so many things. It's not for this show. I could list dozens of things that Priscilla has done wrong concerning Elvis and Lisa and Riley and Finley and Harper, and very greedy, quite nasty things. I don't hate Priscilla. I'm not going to. I would always defend as Elvis wants me to. I would try and do it with a kind heart. I'm not an evil person that wants to attack someone. So even though at the moment I'm struggling, because Elvis would want me to defend in a kind way, with respect, with honor. I always feel that Elvis is watching what my behavior, how I act when I run this channel. And at the moment, I'm struggling because of what's gone on. I'm struggling. Hi, I'm just live. At the moment, I'm struggling. Okay. it's hard for me to say I'm not upset with Priscilla because this is so serious. All right, guys. So I'm gonna see if I can just play a couple of news clips that came out last night or yesterday. This is going to be part one. Part two, we're going to look at an autopsy report that was done a year after the death of poor Lisa, that we all love and miss, of course. It's probably going to be a bit uncomfortable to listen to. I did get a couple of emails from Bridget. It's very awkward for her. It's very awkward for me. We're all on thin ice here. So, but we are in contact with Bridget. So let's just see how it goes, guys. Right. Let me just play these few clips we've got. I found a couple of clips. I quickly altered this one just a little bit. But this is probably the most important clip I've found from Entertainment Tonight, I think it's called. Let's go.
Priscilla Presley, hit with a lawsuit alleging she pulled the plug on her daughter Lisa Marie's life support to gain control of Elvis's estate.
This was his sanctuary. This was his life.
Priscilla's former business partners are suing for $50 million. ET exclusive with their lawyer Jordan Matthews today.
Why on earth would Priscilla want to pull her own daughter off life support?
So I'm guessing this is Bridget's lawyer. Yeah? Bridget, is this your lawyer? I'm pretty sure it probably is. Jordan Matthews.
So that's a good question. Look, the short answer is we were aware of an internal struggle that was going on with Lisa and Priscilla at the time. There is a lot of documentation to support our claims.
The suit also claims that
So documentation to support their claims. I'd like to see that. I think Bridget has shown me a few bits and bobs. One thing was when Lisa signed something to say, extend life if possible.
80-year-old Priscilla ultimately wanted to control Graceland, allegedly saying, "I'm the queen. I'm in charge of Graceland."
Now, I believe that. Yeah. I think that's exactly how Priscilla has been since Vernon Presley died. Honestly, guys, I'm really concerned about how Priscilla got to power. Honestly, the situation with Vernon is worrying. We know Elvis did not want Priscilla in his will. I think Elvis would be horrified that Priscilla became the front person for him, for Gracelands, for the Living Museum, known as the person that saved the museum. Saved Gracelands, and it was her idea to open the museum, which I don't think is true. I think we've got some evidence that prove that is just bullshit. I do believe that Priscilla jumped on the bandwagon and carried on making decisions for Gracelands, financial decisions, big decisions, not all of them good, because remember, Elvis Presley Enterprises was sold off. That should never have happened. I know Lisa was involved in that, but I still have a feeling that Priscilla was the main reason that happened, and she did get the biggest payout that she's ever had from that deal, from Robert Silliman, the billionaire. So, very concerning. 85% Gracelands, Elvis Presley Enterprises sold off, and Gracelands rented to EPE. Should never have happened, guys. I really feel that Priscilla badly advised Lisa Marie. Lisa Marie really trusted Priscilla at the time of this deal. Yeah. So everything I'm saying is just an opinion sharing discussion, not fact. This is just something I think maybe it's all a big maybe. But do I think Priscilla would say, "I'm the queen, I'm in charge of Graceland"? Yeah, I do. Do I think Bridget Cruz, the auctioneer, she runs a massive auction company. She's, as far as I can tell, she used to auction some massive things with Priscilla. Yeah. Allegedly, Priscilla would do letters of recollection on these items to increase their value, which is in her evidence, which is in Bridget Cruz's evidence. Yeah. So, yes, I do think, I believe Bridget Cruz that Priscilla said, "I'm the queen of Gracelands. I'm in charge of Graceland." I believe it. It's exactly what I would expect from her. Yeah. And I think she's been saying it for 40 years. Seriously, guys. remember, this book really did trick and con the public, in my opinion, really did reinvent history, rewrite history. But the biggest con was that they fell for it. The public around the world were very gullible. They fell for this book. They fell for it. Every word of it. And that book makes Elvis look bad, makes Priscilla look good. It's that simple. Even the interviews that came out just before this book was released and after, really, it's all about making Priscilla look like a poor victim. Yeah, we've said it all a million times, haven't we? But it is. If you go back to those old interviews, it's very obvious. Priscilla has a game plan. Poor me, poor me. Oh no, look what Elvis was like. Oh no, look what I went through. I was controlled. I was in a prison. Get it? It's all bullshit. All of it is bullshit. Yeah. Poor Elvis that he can't defend himself. Elvis has never been able to defend himself through all this crap. And the public at large, in their tens of millions, believed every word Priscilla said. No one ever challenged her. No one challenged Priscilla. She was just left to rule the roost. A lot of damage has been done, in my opinion. For entertainment purposes, just an opinion discussion.
Right before Lisa's passing, my client was with Priscilla and observed those statements and was very concerned with the nature of those statements.
The problem is, how does Bridget prove that she said that? This was supposed to have been said, I think, a week before the funeral by Priscilla. How does Bridget prove that? I actually believe she probably did say it, yeah? How does she prove it?
Graceland is now owned by Priscilla's granddaughter, Riley Keough, something Lisa Marie told us was inevitable.
And even that isn't straightforward because, yes, they own it. 100% they own Gracelands, and it eventually brought Finley and Harper, who are amazing, by the way. But it is rented. It's rented to EPE, Elvis Presley Enterprise. Another massive mistake that I think Priscilla was heavily involved in. You know, we have to accept that there was some responsibility that fell to Lisa because she was the owner. But who was advising her? You know, Barry Siegel comes along years later, Priscilla's friend, and literally completely rips off Lisa. I know this is much later, but all of it is, you know, in the middle of it all is Priscilla Presley, her mother, out, you know, greedy, out for power, for fame, for spotlight, for attention, to be on TV, to be in movies, to sell products, to promote products, to, you know, we know early on in her career was the Biss and Bow clothing boutique, but that's very early on. So all of it's so concerning.
Always has been mine, Graceland, always will be, and when it's no longer mine, it will be my children's, you know, that's that.
I want to read you this statement from Priscilla's lawyer, Marty Singer. He says, "This is without a doubt one of the most shameful, ridiculous, salacious, and meritless lawsuits I have seen in my practice." What's your...
So, you know, obviously Priscilla's lawyer, you know, a highly respected lawyer that has, dealt with a lot of very serious lawsuits, yeah. Massively defending, let me see if I can see the wording here. Massively wording. I did read this out yesterday. Just in case you don't know, Bridget Cruz sent me the whole case. She emailed it to me. It's a public document, I think. So I think I know that Rhonda's got it at Presley Mania. I know Amy Collett has got it. Amy has spoke to me. They're at Elvis Week at the moment. They're having a fantastic time. They were at the dojo yesterday. They've chatted with Spa Guy, the Tiger Man Dojo. They've seen Linda Thompson, who signed their books. You know, they're having a great time. I think they saw Jerry Schilling. So just so you know, guys, Amy and Rhonda at Presley Mania are having a brilliant time. But I know that Amy has very strong views. She's not a fan of Bridget. Bridget Cruz. She thinks Bridget Cruz was heavily involved in every bad decision that negatively affected poor Lisa Marie. Amy's furious that Bridget Cruz, it just was involved. It's very clear when you go through the 62 pages of Bridget Cruz's evidence for her lawsuit. It's very clear that Bridget was involved at some very pivotal moments that did seriously affect Lisa Marie. Always Priscilla's interest at heart, Priscilla's best interest at heart for Bridget. It was a money-making thing, you know, even being her acting attorney. There was a very long period of time Bridget was really trying to help Priscilla. She put a lot, you know, I admit it, what Bridget said to me, thousands of hours of hard work, a lot of investment. It does seem that a lot of money was ploughed into the business of Priscilla Presley by Bridget Cruz and her partner, Kevin Fialco. I just want to say that Kevin Fialco is not her husband. I got it yesterday. I must have said it about 10 times. They're just business partners. So I'm sorry about that. I'm completely wrong about Fialco being her husband. I don't know why I thought that. They're just business partners. Okay. So I'll try and say that in my shows today so that I clear that up. So Bridget, sorry that I got that wrong. Yeah. So, you know, I'm sort of repeating myself, aren't I? Amy is upset. Too many things happen from Bridget Cruz concerning Priscilla that were not in the best interest of Lisa Marie. Yeah. Okay. So let's just keep listening.
What's your response to that?
The truth is not salacious, plain and simple.
Yeah. So the truth is not salacious, plain and simple. You know, look at the comment. Look at what I've written. Things are serious now. And then it goes on to say, poor Lisa Marie. This is serious. This is as serious as it gets because this involves the death of poor Lisa Marie. There's probably a very small chance that Lisa Marie could have been resuscitated and lived. It's a very small chance. And one of the most common things that keep getting sent to me is, why was the machine turned off, or the DNR do not resuscitate before Riley got there? Is that true? This is a massive question of today. Was the decision made by Priscilla or Riley or both? And was the machine turned off? I probably should already know this, yeah. But it's all gone a bit foggy because I'm getting all different reports. Obviously, I've read the pages in the book From Here to the Great Unknown that discuss it as well. I've had a couple of you send it me as well, like Nicola sent it me. I want to know the timeline, minute by minute, of the medical stuff, the medical procedures that went on. Someone said there was a pacemaker fitted, and I don't want to go into it now because I want to properly read it out correctly. We need to really look at that. When Riley got there, had she passed? I should know this, to be honest with you, but I actually don't, because I'm so confused of all the conflicting things that are being said to me. So now, Bridget's lawyer clearly saying, yes, you know, the stuff that is being said is extreme, yeah, by Bridget. But he said they've got the evidence to back it up, yeah. These things were said to Bridget. So, you know, this is a bad day for Priscilla Presley, a very bad day, yeah. I wouldn't like to wake up today being Priscilla Presley, yeah, and yesterday, yeah. So, Priscilla, if you ever watch my show, this is serious. This is serious. Heartbreaking. So heartbreaking. So I'm just going to play a couple more clips and then we're going to come back to a part 2. I need to wake up a little bit. Still half asleep. Yeah. Let's have a look. Let's go back to YouTube. History. I think this is one called E-News.
Priscilla Presley's legal team hitting back against a vicious lawsuit surrounding daughter Lisa Marie, 2 years after her and Elvis Presley's only child died suddenly at 54 years old. In a statement to People, Priscilla's attorney called the filing, quote, one of the most shameful, ridiculous, salacious, and meritless lawsuits I have ever seen.
So, you know, Priscilla's lawyer is defending it massively. It is extreme. It is salacious. It's horrific, isn't it? It's like, oh my God, everyone is shocked. The whole world is shocked about this. This is crazy. But the Elvis fans are different. They're like, I told you so. Told you so. The fans have been saying this happened for 2 years. The fans have been defending poor Lisa Marie for 2 years. Actually longer, because the fans have been trying to stick up for Elvis, for Lisa, for 40 years. Even with Scientology stuff, even with just the general treatment of Priscilla, of Lisa, of course, the alleged sexual abuse from Michael Edwards from Priscilla's boyfriend could have gone on for years when she was a minor, alleged. Just a discussion, not a fact. I have to say that. So the fans are very, very worried for Lisa Marie. Even when she was alive, you know, for decades, Lisa Marie may have gone through some pretty horrible things at the hands of Priscilla, who was the responsible parent in charge. Priscilla chose to take Lisa Marie away from her father when she was 4 because Priscilla wanted to live with Mike Stone, the karate champion, had a secret affair with him for a year. Remember, she'd already been unfaithful when Lisa Marie was a baby with Steve Peck, the dance instructor. She admits it in her book on page 262. She calls him Mark. Yeah? So, you know, pretty shady character Priscilla is. She's been unfaithful a few times. There's some very serious wrongdoings with money. The possibility of her involvement with Barry Siegel. Lisa Marie was clearly very upset with Priscilla that she stayed friends with Barry Siegel right to the day she died. Threats of legal action towards her own mother on a few different things. This is part of Bridget's evidence. You know, Priscilla, guys, it's like an episode of Dallas. This is serious stuff. Yeah. She has managed to trick and con the world into thinking she was just in this fairy tale romance that only went wrong because Elvis was unfaithful and had a temper or had a problem with prescription medication. The world has been fooled. The veil is now being lifted. Now the world knows something's not right. Even if all of this gets thrown out and laughed at, I do believe now that the world now knows that Priscilla Presley was capable of some very despicable, serious wrongdoing, going way back to the 70s, maybe even the 60s. No, actually, yes, the 60s, because she was unfaithful around 1968 with the dance instructor, and then around 1970, 71. Obviously, we're into the 70s now. So, poor Elvis. That's what I say, poor Elvis and poor Lisa Marie. And now poor Riley and Finley and Harper.
That lawsuit alleging Priscilla was scheming amid Lisa Marie's health battle, saying she ignored Lisa Marie's concerning appearance at the 2023 Golden Globes.
So this is what Bridget was saying. It was very clear that Lisa looked really unwell at the Golden Globes. As if all the people that were very close to poor Lisa at the Golden Globes. I mean, come on, guys. It was so clear. Even the world at large that were watching the Golden Globes, you know, some of it live, I think, everyone knew there was something wrong. Why didn't the people closest to her help her? Not just Priscilla, other people as well. I don't get it. I do not get it.
Globes, then, quote, pulled the plug days later after her daughter suffered cardiac arrest. All this, the lawsuit claims, so Priscilla could attempt to take over Lisa Marie's assets, including her control over the Graceland empire. Priscilla now facing a $50 million civil suit, with former business partners alleging she defrauded them in the wake of Lisa Marie's death. But
very serious. So what we're going to do, we're going to see if we can find some more of these clips. And we are going to start to, bit by bit today, piece together some stuff, trying to find out what happened leading up to the death and after. Let's try and understand it. I know we have been through all this before a few years ago, but I think it's time to go through it again. It's going to be a bit awkward, difficult, and I can't say that I like this. Yeah, this is uncomfortable, very sad. I'm probably going to get tearful a few times. It's very, don't want to go there, but we have to. So this is part one of this morning's show. I'm going to upload this live. So I can join you in the comments. Tomorrow I'm away camping, so I'm going to take you guys with me camping for 2 days. So I don't know what the signal is going to be like for my computer, for my laptop, for my phone. I'm going to try and still do a couple of shows a day whilst we're camping. Take you for a walk with me as well. So I think we're probably going to end up having some fun on my little 2-day camping holiday. I'm going to sleep in the 67 classic Volkswagen split screen camper, Lenny. So that'll be funny. And the kids are coming, of course. Let's see how it goes. Let's just play the rest of this, then I'll come back for a part 2.
Priscilla's attorney said it's a retaliatory move following Priscilla's previously filed lawsuit against them. Her attorney.
So, you know, a retaliatory, can't even say that word in the morning. I do think this is a lawsuit. They're throwing arrows at each other. So there is a possibility that this is all to discredit Priscilla, to make Priscilla look bad, to get a reaction from Priscilla, maybe to back down, to back off, maybe to settle. There is a possibility that it's lies. There is. We can't get away from that. It could all be lies. It could all be a game that's being played for lawsuits for money. Remember, this is all about money, isn't it? Back and forth, money, 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 money. Broken promises, broken contracts, broken friendships. Because don't forget, Bridget has always said how much she loved Priscilla. She's now saying that once Priscilla was saying, I'm the Queen of Gracelands, I'm in charge of Gracelands, that made her feel very uncomfortable, her and her partner, Kevin Fialco. So they started to see a very different Priscilla than the Priscilla they thought they knew. Yeah. But don't forget, they had been friends for years. You know, I say years, I don't mean like decades. I mean, they'd been friends for a few years. Yeah. So I'm trying to be fair. Yeah. It's difficult. It's awkward. There are people that don't even want me to talk to Bridget, that think she doesn't deserve it. I don't feel that way. I feel that Bridget should have her say. I do think Priscilla changed her mind. I do, on these contracts that were signed. Anyway, guys, I'm going to come back for part 2.
Calling this latest lawsuit in part nothing more than a sad and vicious attempt to falsely tarnish the reputation of an 80-year-old woman. E! News has reached out to Priscilla's attorneys for comment, but has not yet heard back.
So that is a big thing for me. Will Priscilla comment? We know that her lawyer has. Will Priscilla comment? I mean, she's appearing in England on the 4th of October. I've got a ticket. I don't know if I want to go now. If there turns out to be any truth to this, I'm not going. Yeah, this is how upsetting it is. So, and that could be true, couldn't it, guys? So. Right, so 1 second, let me just get it up. Let's just pause it. Right, so guys, I think that's it for part 1. See what you can see in a minute. That's it for part 1, guys. I'm going to come back. We're going to look at some more news clips. I'm going to discuss things that Elvis fans are saying. We're going to try and understand what's gone on. We're going to try and be unbiased and look at everything so that we can be fair. But I'm not going to lie to you. I'm very upset with Priscilla. I cannot believe what's being said. And with Bridget, I'm very concerned of her involvement with Priscilla, where she was helping Priscilla really through some quite worrying things that seriously affected Lisa Marie before and after she passed. So, okay, guys, I hope you understand that this is very awkward for me. Very awkward. But thanks to Team Elvis. Take care, guys. See you soon.